Good morning, students. I am Manikant Mishra, Modern English School, New India. So, yesterday we had discussed about the discharge tube experiment for the finding the existence of electron inside an atom. So with the help of discharge tube experiment, we found that really a negatively charged particle, so-called electron, is present in an atom. So electron can be defined as electron is a subatomic particle, carries 1 unit of negative charge and has mass equal to 1 by 1840 times the mass of hydrogen. So now, after the finding the existence of negatively charged particles in an atom, and as we know that atom is overall electrically neutral. It means neither it is a negative charge nor it is a positive charge. If a negatively charged particle electron is a presence in an atom, there must be another positively charged particle are present in an atom which counterbalance or which maintain the electrical neutrality of an atom. So this lead to this idea develops to discover the another positively charged particle. So E. Goldstein discovered this positively charged particle, so-called proton, by performing discharge tube experiment. So again, that discharge tube, yesterday we have talked already that discharge tube is nothing but it is a long cylindrical glass tube having of length 50 centimeter. Both the end of the glass tube is sealed and it has a side tube through which the pressure inside of discharge tube can be controlled. Now both the end of the discharge tube is connected to the electrode, and the electrode which is connected to the negative terminal of the source of current is called cathode, and the electrode which is connected to the positive terminal of the source of current is called anode. Now my dear student, here you see that today cathode is a perforated cathode. What is a perforated cathode? Cathode having hole in it. Today we have taken the perforated cathode. This is a perforated cathode. Perforated cathode. So cathode having hole in it. Cathode having hole in it is called perforated cathode. The purpose of taking perforated cathode is that the rays, the positively charged rays which moves towards the negatively charged plate, having a low penetrating power. If it is a solid cathode is there, then it will not be able to cross that metallic plate. That's why, like when you throw the stone, if you hit on the wall, that stone is not able to cross the wall, because the stone has a low penetrating power. But at the same time, if you hit with a bullet, it may cross. It may cross. So what is the difference between that stone and the bullet? The bullet has a high penetrating power as compared to stone. So that's why this and the positively charged rays which moves towards the cathode has a low penetrating power, unable to cross the solid metal. That's why it is a provided hole, so that the positively charged rays may cross and it may strike to the wall of the discharge tube, and which is also coated with zinc sulfide, fluorescent material. Zinc sulfide is a fluorescent material. Now, my dear student, let us start that what the Goldstein has done in this experiment. So, suppose we have taken hydrogen gas inside the discharge tube. So, as we have discussed already, this hydrogen gas, first of all, this hydrogen gas, due to high voltage, it dissociates into atomic state of hydrogen. It converts into atomic state. The molecule hydrogen is together. This has been broken and separate into hydrogen. Now the electron which coming out from the electrons which are coming out from the cathode, electrons coming out from the cathode, as you allow the electricity to pass, what does it mean? There is a movement of electron takes place. There is a movement of electron. So cathode releasing electron, this electron, what it does, this again this hydrogen dissociate into hydrogen and hydrogen. This hydrogen, this fast moving electron knock out the electron from the hydrogen. The fast moving electron collides with the hydrogen atom. Fast moving electron collides with the hydrogen atom and knock out electron. So after the removal of one electron from the hydrogen atom, it converts into H plus. So who is doing this one? This fast moving electron comes out from the cathode. This fast moving electron is responsible to take out the electron from the hydrogen atom and convert into hydrogen ion. Now the gas is a charged or ionized gas. So inside the discharge tube, the gas becomes ionized. So here we have to think of two things here. There are so many electrons and so many H plus. So now all the electrons, the group of electrons are moving towards the anode, and this H plus moves towards the cathode. All the electrons either coming from the cathode or is being taken out from the gas. We have the two sources of electron now. One is from the cathode, another is from the gaseous atom. We have the two sources. We are getting here two sources of obtaining electron. One is from the cathode itself and the another this from the gaseous atom. From the gaseous, this cathode electron coming out from the cathode takes out the electron from the gaseous atom and convert into the positively charged ionized gas. Positively charged ionized gas. Now here, one is electron. All the electrons are moving towards the anode. All the electrons are moving towards the anode. So it strikes to the end of the discharge tube. It means behind the anode. It strikes behind the anode. As a result, it produces a flashes of light, and all the positively charged ionized gas. This positively charged ionized gas also moves towards the cathode. The negative charge moves towards the positive charge, and positively charged hydrogen ion. Positively charged hydrogen ion moves towards the perforated cathode, and we see that there is a fluorescence is developed. There is a fluorescence is developed. The cause of the fluorescence developing is due to bombardment of positively charged particle. When the Goldstein further studies, this, since these rays are coming from the anode, so this positively charged ionized gas which strikes to the wall of the discharge tube behind the cathode is called anode rays. Also it is called canal rays because it is a passing through the hole, so it is called anode rays. Is also called canal rays. Anode rays is also called canal rays because these positively charged rays are coming from the anode and going towards the cathode, and behind the cathode it strikes to the wall of the discharge tube, due to which there is a fluorescence is developed. Now when these positively charged rays anode rays, now if you don't want to say that, how you can say this is a positively charged rays, but some invisible rays are coming and it strikes to the wall of the discharge behind the cathode. As a result, there is a fluorescence developed. These rays are further studied by the Goldstein, and its properties was found that when these rays are passed through under the influence of electrical field, when these rays are passed through under the influence of electrical field, it deviates towards the negative. It deviates towards the negative or just opposite of the cathode rays. So it shows that these anode rays are made up of positively charged particle. These anode rays are made up of positively charged particle. Mass was found to be, this positively charged particle mass was found to be 1.67 into 10 to the power minus 27 kilogram. The mass of this positively charged particle was found to be 1.67 into 10 to the power minus 27 kilogram. And the charge, this is a mass, and the charge equals to positive 1.602 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. So the mass of these positively charged particles is found to be 1.67 into 10 to the power minus 27 kilogram, is approximately mass equal to mass of hydrogen. Its mass is equal to the mass of hydrogen atom. Its mass, this positively charged anode rays has mass found to be 1.67 into 10 to the power minus 27 kilogram, is exactly approximately equal to the mass of hydrogen atom. So its mass is considered as 1 unit. 1 unit. And mass is this charge carried by positive. The charge carried by this positively charged particle is 1.602 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. This charge carried by any particle is the smallest. So its mass, its charge is also considered as plus 1. So relative charge is plus 1 and absolute charge is 1.602 into 10 to the power minus 19. Once again, my dear students, what I said, this positively charged particle which is responsible to produce the fluorescence behind the cathode was further studied by Goldstein, and he found that when these positively charged rays or anode rays or canal rays, when it is passed through under the influence of electric field, then it deflects towards the negatively charged. It shows that this positively charged, this anode rays is made up of a positively charged particle, and its mass was found to be 1.67 into 10 to the power minus 27 kilogram. This mass is approximately equal to the mass of hydrogen atom. So it is considered as 1 unit mass, and charge carried by this anode rays is found to be 1.602 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. And this charge carried by any charged particle is the smallest. So its relative charge is plus 1. So now this lightest positively charged particle was named as proton. This lightest positively charged particle was named as proton. So it means proton can be defined as a subatomic particle. Proton is a subatomic particle, carries 1 unit of a positive charge, having mass equal to the hydrogen atom, or it is equal to 1.67 into 10 to the power minus 27 kilogram. So electron is a subatomic particle, carries 1 unit of negative charge, mass equal to 1 upon 1840 times that of a hydrogen. Electron is a negatively charged particle, carries 1 unit of a negative charge, and mass equal to 1 upon 1840 times the mass of a hydrogen. Proton is a subatomic particle, carries 1 unit of a positive charge, mass is equal to the mass of hydrogen atom. So thank you, have a nice day.